Hello friends. So today in this particular video, let us try to discuss a bit on simple data validation technique in large scale data migration. So for example, your data pipelines are running in Spark 2 version and suppose you have to upgrade the whole system to Spark 3, right? So this is one sort of large scale data migration. And generally in this kind of migration, the expectation is before migration in the current state, whatever data we are getting in the final table, same data we should be getting post migration to Spark 3 or latest environment, right? So suppose you are having thousands of table, and now when you do this sort of migration, the main problem is you don't have the business context or knowledge about the data often, right? Because that some data migration can be very big and it is not possible for some engineers to have complete information about all the tables. So we should be having some generic data validation techniques using which we can confirm that data quality is not degraded or same data we are getting post migration. So for example, here we are having this kind of table. Currently we are getting in Spark 2 version where we are having some columns like student ID, name, age, gender, city. And suppose the company want to upgrade their whole data platform to Spark 3, and after migration we are getting this sort of data where first row for student ID 101 it is same, but for 102 for Neha Verma age from 22 became 23 due to some problem in the migration process, something got broken, right? Then similarly if you check the third row, it is almost same, but student ID 104 is completely missing from here. Maybe in the migration process from Spark 2 to Spark 3 might be some new sort of join behavior is introduced for which this particular record may be getting dropped. For fifth row with student ID 105, the city from Hyderabad suddenly got changed to Pune, right? So in these kind of cases, how we can do data validation when we don't have idea about data, right? Like we might not know that student ID is the primary key in the table. So in this case, what approach generally we follow in data engineering world is hash based data comparison, and that is what I want to share with you. So the simple approach for comparison is you take each row and create the hash value for that row, that is student ID, name, age, gender, city together should be creating one hash value. Like that way for each row you generate the hash data, and same you do for the table which you are getting post migration, right? So this one may be in Spark 2, this one may be in Spark 3, and then you try to find out what hash values are available in Spark 2 or previous version, but after migration the hash values are not available in the new table, right? Those specific rows are having certain problems which further need to be inspected. So as simple as that. So first step will be computing hash value for each row, and then we will do a simple comparison, right? So here you can see that if you try to go with only hash level comparison, we can clearly understand the first row because they're exactly matching their hash value 7764135132681052 Here also same 7764135132681052 right? But if you consider for the student ID 102, here the row hash value is 80 something, but here row hash value is minus 23 something, right? So this particular row hash value is not available before migration. That means that's why in the output it should be showing that in the right side table this new row hash value is coming up, which is not there in the Spark 2 or our previous version or before migration, right? So this is a general practice, and if you want to see the implementation, it is very simple. I can quickly show you in Snowflake or in any migration platform. You can follow same sort of logic. First I am creating a database, and then maybe I can create two tables, left table and right table, and then I can insert some data, and then here what I am doing, first my left side table, that is before migration whatever is there, I am selecting all the rows and I am creating a new column where that column will contain hash value of that complete row, right? And same operation we are doing after migration whatever table we got in that for that table also, and then we are selecting all the columns from left table as well as right table. We are doing a full outer join where we are trying to apply join on row hash from left versus row hash on right, but with this condition that either source row hash is null or target row hash is null. So that way I'll be getting only those rows which are not matching after migration. So if I run this one, here we will get this kind of data that for these specific rows, these are available after migration in Spark 3, but these rows are available before migration. So that means there is something wrong. Now the data engineering team or data analyst team can further deep dive to understand what problem appeared, right? So I just wanted to share with you that if you are not having any idea about your data and you have to perform data validation for huge volume of tables, especially in sort of data migration use cases, then this particular technique is popularly used, right? So this is all for this video. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you for watching.